Hey everybody, it's Tripl-L, and now let's talk Knights and Magic episode... I think we're at 8. I might have to check that. Apologies if I got the episode number wrong. I know that I missed an episode last week. Apologies. Life stuff happened. But yeah, let's talk Knights and Magic episode 8. So, we started off the episode without an opening. Whenever you have that situation unfolding, it's going to be a packed episode. And that's saying a lot for Knights and Magic. Knights and Magic tends to be relatively packed with information in almost every episode. So when you go into the episode and there's no opening, it's like, oh geez, we're in for a treat. And sure enough, we kind of springboarded from the small foreshadowing we had, or not the foreshadowing, we had the cliffhanger in episode 7. And we've just jumped in. There's a massive thing going on with Demon Beast. There's a giant swarm of them. They are going to attack the place where the reactors are being made. And it's like, okay, yeah, this seems like it's going to be a really big deal. We don't have the opening. And we have such a big kind of enemy going on. So with the episode, it was really interesting because you have that big premise and it's like, okay, the last time we had to deal with a big demon beast, it took a whole episode. But as we saw in the episode, we ended up taking out the queen, and then for the rest of the episode, it was pretty much divided into 2 halves. For the rest of the episode, we were just dealing with Ernesti's building fantasies and whatnot. And that was actually like the really surprising part. I thought this was going to be a full-on long battle, but instead it ended up being just a showcase episode for all the new robots, and also just the culmination of Ernesti's goal. This is the episode where he finally gets to find out about the reactors. Overall, it's a very packed episode when you consider it, because let's just list things off. We start off the episode, we go and we show off all the different robots that we have. We see Ernesti's robot riding in a throne. That's just like a hilarious sight to me. And we ultimately see them fighting off against the giant queen, which was also a pretty nice sequence. Another nice thing about the episode was the CG seemed a lot better than usual. At least for the monsters, they seemed very on point. I really enjoyed that part. And then once the dust has settled, once we have seen all the robots fight, once we've seen Dietrich and Edgar do their thing, and everyone has, their time in the spotlight, we move off into the second half of the episode, which was just the information dump on this other race of creatures, the elf, I think. I didn't write down their name, unfortunately. I screwed up with that. But the ones with the weird ears and the ones that have a kind of weird behavioral pattern, and then after that, finding out how the Aether reactor works, finding out that you need to have a sense of magic to be able to do it, and then the biology of the other race, and meeting the Oracle lady, to going to Ernesti, learning about all the information he can about making the reactors, and then him actually putting it into practice. We all saw that coming. The moment that these guys were tracing magic with their fingers, it's like, oh yeah, Ernesti could probably replicate that really easily. It's not going to be hard. And then sure enough, by the end of the episode, we see him doing that. So overall, a lot of information in this episode. In terms of talking about it for this video, we can just disregard the entire first half because it was just combat that really looks cool, and it's pretty neat to see, hey, frick, the red silhouette knight has some pretty awesome maneuverability. Or Edgar's unit, yeah, I like the shield, it's pretty awesome. Or holy, look at all the centaurs, they're just mowing down all the adversity. It's overall, that first bit is just a giant climax for this whole arc of Ernesti making different silhouette knights. But then, again, it's that second half of the episode that has the value. So let's talk about the race that was introduced here. There was a lot of key scenes going on. There was a lot of nice information that was dropped about this race. You had what I really enjoyed about them, one characteristic was this idea of their laziness, how they just they get to a certain age, and after that point they just get lazy, they just want to sleep and think. I really like that. That's a very interesting perspective to have to apply to an elf-like race. I ultimately really enjoyed that. And when we were talking to the head lady, the one that gave us the cliffhanger in the previous episode, I found it really funny because I'm thinking she's talking down to Ernesti. right? And then she looks at him and then she decides, okay, yeah, you could go and do that. I'm thinking, oh yeah, she knows this kid's reincarnated. Totally. She must. She's an oracle, right? So she must be able to see that to some degree. And we do get that confirmed later on in the episode where she realizes that he knows more than what people should know. Overall, I really enjoyed that. Finding out about the reactors that are made from Demon Beast's heart, and that the elf-like people, they also have a component of that demon. They have the core as well, and that's why they can use magic to such a nice degree when it comes to interacting with the material. It's like, okay, that's pretty cool. I could see why only these people can make it. And then, you know, at that point, it's like, if that's all you need, if you need a demon core embedded into your body to be able to do that, it's like Ernesti can replicate that pretty easily. And that's, you know, that being what we ultimately get is also hilarious. But it also is important to note that there were time skips going on while he was doing all of this. So while Ernesti is learning, we got that whole time skip. And you can rest assured that in the original material, most likely whenever you have those time skips happening, most likely in the novels, the time skips are expanded upon. And they give you more specification. So if you were ever in a place that you want to like actually know what kind of material was being skipped over in those time skips, you could just go off and read the novel, or depending on where the manga is, you could go read the manga, because as I'm aware, there was one person that mentioned that the manga was doing a more faithful adaptation of the original light novel, and that does tend to happen when you have these type of shows. The manga does tend to expand a little bit more on material that the anime just kind of glosses over. But anyway, yeah, I'm trying to think if there's really anything else of value that can be said about that whole segment with Ernesti and the elves. Yeah, really thinking about it, it is really just an info dump. Like, yeah, that was just an info dump. Huh. But still, it was cool to find out about those characters. Anyway, yeah. Overall, I was really happy with that part of the episode. I think it also helps that Ernesti is so excited about everything he's doing, and we see it pay off at the end of the episode where they get back to making their Ernesti's custom suit, and we get to see it at the end. Its name is I have it written down. Oh, there we go. Ikaruga. So I'm really excited that we finally get to see this thing made, and we know it has 2 Aether reactors in it. Overall, I'm so excited. We have about, I think, 4 or 5 episodes left till the end of this anime season, pretty much. I'm excited to see where we're going to end off. I want to see a giant robot fight. I want to see an epic, awesome climax. In the opening, Ernesti's flying around in what seems to be space, so if we get something like that for the finale, it's like, yeah, I'm into it. The CG's already proven itself that it can be pretty beautiful for this series, so I kind of want to see where we're going to end up with this guy. Overall, I really enjoyed that whole info dump of an episode. Now let's see, any other little points that I want to mention before we end off? Oh, in the fight to defend the village of the reactor, I really liked seeing the old king and the prince there. That was pretty awesome. And I also liked that even though they're doing awesome things, the problem of mana consumption is still prevalent with these new suits. I really want them to get worked on. I want to get that weakness out of the way. You know, Ernesti and his group have shown that they are super competent and that they can get along with most of the factions present in the Knights and Magic Kingdom. So I really want to see that continue to happen, because we don't have to deal with those stupid things like rivalries. We have characters like Edgar who are very humble, and we have characters like Ernesti and the head of the Research Institute who understand each other. I really want to just see these logistical problems dealt with, because we know that with these characters there and just how competent they are, that we can have those logistical problems dealt with. So overall, for me, I'm just really excited for this. Knights and Magic, I think, for me personally, it has been a very fun series. I really enjoy that they do pound you with so much information, and I do enjoy that I think they've developed a pretty good sense at knowing of what to skip over and how to make the time skips not seem as jarring as they were in the first episode. But yeah, can't really think of anything else to say besides oh yeah, again, the king being present for a lot of the episode, or sorry, the former king being present for a lot of the episode was so nice. I so respect him. I was actually pretty excited when he showed up at the battle as well with his grandson, because it's like, man, if he becomes a permanent staple of Ernesti's group, I'd be into that. I think he's a pretty competent character as well. give me more competent characters, you know. But yeah, guys, let me know what you thought of the episode. If you have any particular thoughts about it, let me know if I missed something that you thought was valuable to talk about. But yeah, those are all the notes I had. Yeah, okay, cool. Guys, thanks for watching, and till next time, I hope you have a great day. And again, the image of Ernesti riding around in a throne, it was pretty funny.